Why are our bodies all so different? I mean, it's a question we've all asked ourselves at some point. In this explainer, we're going to demystify the science behind our unique physical builds and figure out exactly why that is. So, let's jump right in.
I mean, it can be super frustrating, can't it? You and your friend are doing the exact same workout, eating pretty much the same things, but your bodies are responding in completely different ways. Look, this has nothing to do with who's working harder. It's all about understanding the unique blueprint you were born with, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack.
Okay, so to really get to the bottom of this, the very first step is to look beyond the scale. Seriously, that number that stares back at you every morning, it's just one tiny piece of a much bigger, way more interesting puzzle. What truly matters is what that weight is actually made of.
And that brings us to the core idea here, body composition. It sounds technical, but it's really simple. It's just the breakdown of your body into two main things, fat mass and then everything else, what we call non-fat mass. Muscle, bones, organs, water, all that stuff. Understanding that ratio gives you a much, much clearer picture of your health than your weight alone ever could.
So let's talk about these building blocks. What are they exactly? Well, our bodies are basically made up of two core components, and getting the difference between them, that's the key to unlocking this whole puzzle.
All right, so on one side, you've got lean body mass. This is all the functional stuff, everything that keeps you strong and moving. Your muscles, bones, organs, even water. And get this, the more lean mass you have, the faster your metabolism is. Then on the other side, you have body fat mass. Now, we absolutely need some fat for our bodies to work right. But as with anything, too much can lead to health risks. So the name of the game is really just finding that healthy balance between these two.
Okay, now that we've got a handle on composition, we can get into the really fun part, how our genetics give us a starting point. Scientists have basically identified 3 classic body types, or somatypes. Just think of them as common genetic blueprints that influence our physique and how our body reacts to diet and exercise. Let's go ahead and meet them.
First up, we've got the ectomorph. You know that friend who's naturally slender and can just seem to eat anything they want without gaining a pound? Yep, that's your classic ectomorph. They've got a narrow frame and what you might call a high-revving engine for metabolism. It just torches calories. The flip side, though, is that this can make it pretty challenging for them to put on weight or build muscle.
Next up, the Mesomorph. This is the blueprint for a naturally athletic and muscular build. Think broader shoulders and a well-defined frame from the get-go. Their metabolism is super efficient, and their bodies just seem to respond really, really well to exercise. For them, building muscle often seems to happen pretty easily.
And finally, there's the endomorph. This blueprint usually means a softer, rounder body shape, often with wider hips. Endomorphs tend to have a slower metabolism, which makes their bodies incredibly efficient at storing energy, usually as fat. This means they can be more prone to gaining weight, and they might find they need to put in a little more focused effort to lose body fat compared to the other types.
This chart here really lays it all out, nice and simple, side by side. It's a fantastic way to see the core differences at a glance. You can really see that spectrum we're talking about, right? From the lean ectomorph with that lightning-fast metabolism to the rounder endomorph with a slower one, and that athletic mesomorph sitting right there in the middle.
Okay, so we've gone through the 3 classic blueprints, but I'm willing to bet that as I was describing them, some of you were thinking, well, I don't really fit into just one of those. I feel like I'm kind of a mix. And if that's you, you are absolutely right.
And that's such a crucial question. What happens if you have the broad shoulders of a mesomorph, but you also find it pretty easy to gain fat, kind of like an endomorph? Does the whole model just fall apart? No way, not at all.
Because here's the big aha moment. These blueprints are not rigid boxes you have to squeeze into. They're more like points on a spectrum. And the truth is, most of us fall somewhere in between those points. For example, you could totally be a mesoendomorph, someone with a naturally muscular frame who also tends to store fat easily. It's all about your own unique combination.
So understanding your genetic tendencies is incredibly powerful, but it's only half the story. Now let's talk about the part you have complete and total control over, because your blueprint is just the starting point. It is not your destiny. And this is maybe the most important takeaway of all. Genetics might deal you a certain hand of cards, but it's your lifestyle choices that determine how you play that hand. The choices you make every single day, what you eat, how you move, how you rest, they play a massive role in shaping your body no matter what your starting blueprint is.
So let's be crystal clear about this. The whole goal isn't to try and force your body to become a type it's not meant to be.
The real goal is to work with your natural tendencies to achieve a body composition that is healthy and strong for you, with a good amount of lean mass and a healthy level of body fat. This knowledge is a tool, not a label.
So we end with this. Understanding your body's blueprint gives you power. It helps you make sense of why your body behaves the way it does, and it allows you to make smarter choices. So the real question isn't what type you are. The real question is, now that you know, what are you going to do with that knowledge? What will you choose to build?